Hey guys, it's Chris with Sterling Salat, and today we're going to be talking about PBN links. PBN links are one of the most powerful ranking tools available, however, they are also highly misunderstood. We'll be covering a lot of stuff in this video, starting with some very basic things, so be sure to use the timestamps at the bottom if you want to skip around to something specific. We'll be covering what PBN links are, how to use them, how to get them yourself, and what makes our PBN links special, as well as how to place an order if you're interested. All right, let's get going. PBN links are from an old domain that has existing backlinks of its own, which have been bought and repurposed to pass as much link juice as possible to the site it links to. So you can see here, this PBN site of ours has links from 457 other domains. We then harness all of this power, and then we link out to sites that we want to help rank. PBN links also generally come from the PBN site's homepage, which makes them even more powerful, and PBN links are contextual, meaning they are within an article just like a niche edit or a guest post. So here we are on an actual PBN site that we built. We've actually never used this one. We don't plan on using it, which is the only reason I'm showing this right now. But if you scroll down, see it looks like a real site. This is the homepage of the site. And scrolling down, we get to a blog roll down here. And so you can see down at the blog roll, there are full articles that are posted. And these articles then go and include links to sites that we want to link out to. Because of these reasons, PBN links are one of the most powerful types of backlinks you can get, and they can really do wonders for boosting your rankings. That being said, you should also really know what you're doing when using PBN links, as they can potentially get you into some trouble with Google if Google catches on to what you're doing. Back to our product page here, and scrolling down, you can see that PBN links are black hat, which means they are against Google's terms of service. If Google catches you using these types of links, they could potentially penalize your site. It's for this reason that we highly recommend only using PBN links if you're an experienced link builder who understands link building best practices in order to keep your rankings safe. We'll go over this a little bit more later. And scrolling back up to the top, we'll go ahead and compare PBN links to other types of links. So PBN links are one of the three main types of links that SEOs use to push their rankings forward, the other two being niche edits and guest posts. The rest of the links here are essentially different types of pillow links. Unlike niche edits and guest posts, PBN links come from domains which are not real websites, but artificial sites made purely for the purpose of passing link juice. They also generally come from the site's homepage, while niche edits and guest post links generally come from inner pages only. They are contextual links placed on relevant articles just like niche edits and guest posts, but unlike these two, PBN links are black hat like mentioned before and should be handled with extra care. So now we'll be talking about how to use PBN links. First of all, PBN links should only be used when your site is healthy. You can see from these two screenshots that one site has had nice keyword and traffic growth over time, while the other has lost a lot of traffic and keywords recently. It's much safer to use PBN links on healthy sites, and we recommend not using them on unhealthy sites or sites that have not established a decent amount of keywords and traffic yet. Here are some more examples of things to pay attention to in order to use PBN links safely. So these are actually our PBN requirements for people who are purchasing PBN links from us, but you can use these requirements as a standard for your own PBN link building processes, just to make sure you're not getting yourself into any trouble. So first, sites should be 4 months or older, according to whois.com. Your site should look real and serve a purpose. Your site should not have bad content. It needs to have good content. Your site should have a healthy link profile, like we talked about before. Just to go into this a little bit more fully, basically you don't want your link profile to be a bunch of stuff that looks like, foreign, spam, GSA links, a bunch of other low quality PBN links. You just want your link profile to look somewhat natural before using any kind of PBN links. Next, your site should currently have some keywords and traffic. Your site shouldn't be taking a hard dive, meaning that it's quickly losing lots of keywords and traffic. These two are just rules for our network. And then you should really know what you're doing. Just to read this, you should have some knowledge of PBN use, choosing anchors, and linking safely. Definitely do not use PBNs in a spammy way, and definitely do not use PBNs as a Hail Mary attempt to save your site. We also advise that you use PBN links as a cherry on top rather than forming the backbone of your link building profile. They should really only make up a small portion of your overall backlinks. Where you point PBN links is really up to you and what your site needs at that point in time. It can make sense to link to your homepage as well as to any inner pages that may need a boost. The anchor text you will use will also vary and can either be very natural, stuff like branded URL and generic anchors, or it can be more targeted money anchors. When in doubt, it's always better to be more natural than to be very aggressive with PBN links. We've gone over some things here to keep you safe when using this type of link. However, you should also do some additional reading to make sure you don't experience any negative consequences. Be sure to check out our YouTube, our blog, and any other resources that may cover this topic. So now we'll go over how to get PBN links. To get PBN links, you will either need to buy them from a provider, rent them from a provider, or build PBN sites of your own, which you can then link out from. The basics of building a PBN site of your own would be purchasing an aged or expired domain related to your niche, repurposing it correctly to pass as much link juice as possible, and then writing content on the site and linking out to targets as you wish. This can be a very time-consuming and costly process, but having your own private PBN sites can be a really nice thing. The full details on building PBN sites is outside the scope of this video, but be sure to check out our PBN checklist article here on our blog for more info. You can see that Nick went ahead and wrote this big article on things that he always does when building in a PBN to make sure it's safe and passes as much juice as possible. So definitely check this article out if you're into it, and you can also scroll down to the very bottom and watch a video. But as you can probably tell, building your own PBN links takes a pretty high amount of knowledge, and that's not to mention the cost of things like buying domains at auction, hosting, de-indexes due to mistakes, and more. It's for this reason that many SEOs choose to instead buy or rent PBN links from a trusted provider such as ourselves, the key word here being trusted. Please be aware that there are many low-quality PBN vendors on the market selling shoddy products that could potentially harm your site and your rankings. All right, so now we'll be going over our PBN links and how to place an order. So here we are at the top of our product page. You can first see that our PBNs are laser focused, power in your niche. Laser focused, meaning that we, through our years of experience building PBNs, we really know how to harness all the power of these existing backlinks. And in your niche, meaning that we've got PBNs in many different niches to make sure that your PBN links get placed on the right website. Next up, you can see no footprints, no problems. No footprints. Footprints, if you're not aware, it's basically things that could lead Google to finding out that the website is a PBN and de-indexing it. And so through our years of building PBNs, we've learned how to avoid these footprints, which overall makes for a very safe PBN. Next up, you can see we used aged domains and premium hosting. Our domain selection process is very intense, and it's probably the hardest part of the whole process. Just takes a lot of work and know-how to select the right domains to build into PBNs. And we only use premium hosting for all of our PBN sites, which is something that a lot of the super cheap PBN vendors will skip out on. They use really cheap hosting, which can definitely lead to some problems down the line. Next up, you can see that our sites are real-looking sites. Like the one we showed you before, and all of the content is handwritten. We don't use any kind of spun or we obviously don't steal any content. This is something that a lot of the cheap PBN providers will skip out on. They'll just get some really poor content or spun content to basically try to cut costs. So scrolling down a bit, we get to our process, which looks like this. So first up, you go and you choose your links. You'll have to choose if you want rentals or one-time payments. I'll go ahead and cover that a little bit more in detail here in a minute. You choose what you want. You go ahead and you fill out our order form, giving us some simple information, and then completing your purchase. Next up, we go out and our team writes the content and posts it on the PBN sites, including your link. And this usually takes 3 days or less. And then after that's all done, we send you a full report, including the URL that your link is placed on, so you can see, you can actually inspect the work yourself. So scrolling down to our pricing tables, first off, we have the 3-month rentals and we have the one-time payment PBN links. So up here at the top, the 3-month rentals, so you would pay this price every 3 months. And the reason you would want the rentals is because your PBN link will stay on the homepage of the PBN. So what you're paying for here is for your link to stay on the homepage. So as long as you pay this rental fee, your link will stay on the homepage. If you ever decide to cancel your rental and stop the 3-month payments, we will basically just unsticky the blog post, and it will eventually slide off of the homepage, and your link will still be there on the site. It'll just be on an inner page only. It will no longer be on the homepage of the PBN site. Scrolling down, we have the one-time payment links. So these you just pay one time. There is no 3-month recurring payment. And these PBN links, they actually begin on the homepage as well, but they don't stay there. And we don't guarantee they will stay on the homepage for any amount of time. So basically what happens is your link is added to your article is added to the PBN site. It's displayed on the homepage. But as soon as other content starts being added to the site, your blog post is not sticky and it will just get pushed off onto the inner page of the site. So it starts on the homepage, but it will end up on an inner page at some point. So after you've chosen what kind of links you want and what power of link you want, you can go ahead and click the Order Now button. The Order Now button will take you to our PBN requirements page just to make sure that you understand everything that I went over with you before. 2 things we didn't go over is that your site should not have links from more than 20 PBNs on our network, and any single URL on your site should not have more than 5 links from our PBN network. So after you've read all of the requirements and you understand them and you think that your site passes them, and of course, if you have any questions, just go ahead and you can send us an email if you're not sure, and we'll make sure that your site passes our requirements. But after you've read all this, you can go ahead and scroll down here, and you can either click the 3-month rental option or the one-time payment option. So I'm going to go ahead and click the 3-month option here. This will take you to our order form, which will look something like this. Up at the top, of course, we have the requirements again, just to make sure that you've seen them. Scrolling down, you can give us your name and your email if you don't already have an account with us, and this will create one. If you already have an account, you can either click here to sign in, or it'll already be populated. Then you can go and you can choose which type of link you want. You can see for the rentals, we actually only allow you to purchase one at a time. And this is because of the way that PayPal handles recurring payments. We just have to do one link at a time. If you were to go and to order the one-time payment links, you could say order, like 5 at a time or 10 at a time if you wanted to. But for the rentals, you would have to place orders 1 at a time. Then you just give us your target URL, your anchor text, preferred article topic, and your niche. If you're placing, I guess you don't have a large order since we're only doing 1 at a time, but if they were one-off, the one-time payment links, you could do an Excel file if you wanted to, just to keep everything more organized. And then here at the bottom, just tell us anything else you think we might need to know about your order. When you've checked everything over and it looks good, you can go ahead and hit the complete purchase button, and that will take you to the PayPal portal. So yeah, like I said before, our PBN links usually take 3 business days or less to complete. And after that 3 days is over, we send you a full report for your inspection. If you scroll down to the FAQ section, you can see what an example report will look like by clicking here. So this is basically what your report will look like. You just have the type of link that you ordered. It will contain the actual URL. We don't put any URLs here on this sample that we're putting on our site, just because we never show any PBN URLs until you actually make a purchase and put links on them. This is just an added measure of safety to make sure that none of our sites have any issues. Of course, your target URL and the anchor text that was used. One thing that this one doesn't have, we also have the post date over here, which if you place a large order like this one, we might actually roll them out over multiple, maybe over a few days. So actually, when you get your report, sometimes some of the posts might not be live yet. They might post like a day or two later. It just really depends on the size of your order. All right, guys, that's about it for PBN links. We covered a bunch of stuff from what they are to how to use them and how to get them, and hopefully this video has been helpful. If you're thinking about placing an order, and if you ever have any questions, feel free to email us at any time at info@sirlinksalot.co, or you could always send us a message on Facebook. Also, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe on YouTube. It really helps us out a lot. And also be sure to sign up to our mailing list here on our homepage, as well as joining our Facebook group, the SEO Roundtable, to get VIP access to flash sales and updates, as well as to take part in the SEO discussion and our learning community. Thanks, guys, and we'll see you next time.